All right, now we are outside 4003 Arbor Drive here in Woodbury, Minnesota. We are in the Arbor Ridge development, back in the Arbor Ridge development. We were here the previous video talking about a different builder, but today we are talking about Stonegate. I am very, very excited to check out a Stonegate home. Stonegate, very well-respected builder here in the Twin Cities. They are part of it's a division of the Gagne company. Custom Home Builders. Stonegate is a division of that company. We'll talk a little bit more about that once we check out the home a little bit here. But we are in the Arbor Ridge development, the end of a cul-de-sac. Believe these other homes here in this cul-de-sac are Stonegate as well. This one next door definitely is. Branding is out front. There are still a few open lots here as well, Stonegate lots. But yeah, very excited to check out this home. No landscaping yet, as you know, with new construction, it's always part of the process when landscaping will be installed. We're getting to the part of the year where that can start happening, but we do have asphalt driveway, looks really good. Walking up, 8-foot garage doors, really like the look of these garage doors. But yeah, nice high 3-car garage. LP siding, so this is like an engineered wood product, so holds up better than wood, but yeah, it's not the cement board that we see with a lot of new construction homes for the siding. No gutters on this home, fairly common for new construction. But the feature that I'm most interested in with the exterior of this is the stone on this exterior. Here, let me get a better view of this, but really, really nice looking stone exterior. On this home. Stonegate only uses premium grade natural stone. They do not use man-made stone. A lot of times when you see stone on the exterior of a home, you know, the actual stones it's part of like a mold made, and you know, it's like a cement-like material that they then color to make look like stone. But this is real natural stone. You can tell the difference in person, I believe. But yeah, just, you know, natural materials. The wood pillars here as well look and feel great. You know, it just gives, anytime you have a natural material, in my opinion, it does give an elevated feel. But yeah, just really, really like the look of the exterior of this home, mostly thanks to the stone. So walking in, decent sized entryway, 9-foot ceilings, or I'm sorry, almost 10 foot, 9 foot 9 inches, I believe. They do have the trade ceiling in here, which is kind of unique for the entryway like that, you know, kind of lifts up at that section. But another thing, right when I walked in, you know, what you notice is the arched doorways. Pretty unique feature in new construction these days. You see a lot of just like kind of standard, you know, square doorways. The arch doorway, you know, it really just draws the eye upwards and kind of gives, you know, a sense of grandeur that standard doorways don't have. It does soften the transition between the rooms as well. But yeah, I just find it really aesthetically pleasing and fairly unique for new construction. Flooring in here is an engineered hardwood. We'll talk a little bit more about that, what that means as we get on in this video, but great neutral color, looks incredible in person. You know, you can definitely feel it as well when you're walking on it. Just the grain, the texture, just really nice feel overall, but great look. Yeah, really, really nice entryway. Of course, we have the office space right to the left of the front door. Almost every home that we see nowadays has this feature, but they don't have is the arched doorway, or most of them anyway. Walking in, carpet feels great, really nice high quality carpet. Stonegate only uses 8-pound carpet pads, so it's the density of the foam pad underneath the carpet. It just really helps prevent wear and the carpet kind of bottoming out. But yeah, I'm just overall very, very impressed with the standards that Stonegate has. We'll talk more about that as we go through the video, but I have found the information that's provided by them to be really impressive. But yeah. So same, almost 10-foot ceilings in here, textured, kind of the knockdown material. Anderson windows in all of Stonegate's homes. You know, just attention to high quality building materials. Anderson, probably the best well-known brand window manufacturing for new construction. These look incredible. Is this upper one open? I'm not entirely sure. I don't think so, but yeah. Love to see Anderson windows. Love the black contrast with the kind of, you know, soft. It's not like bright white, like it's more like a cream color on the trim there, but really nice color combo. And then good looking light fixture in here. Not a huge space, but really like an elevated feel to most of these, you know, just kind of standard office space, you know, off the front door rooms in new construction. Entryway closet is right here. Nice, good sized closet. And then powder room, bathroom. Very you know, we see this a lot, and you know, just where it's located is a little bit different in each home with new construction, but yeah, I mean, the cabinets, super high quality. Scandia cabinets is what Stonegate uses. Custom cabinet maker. I think they're out of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, but yeah, local. We'll take, you know, as we get into the kitchen, it's a little more impressive than this powder room bathroom, but really nice to see. Love the color combos in here. Gold fixtures becoming more and more common. I'm noticing that look is more frequent. You know, I associate it with kind of like the 90s. Obviously, this is like a, you know, an updated style. The toilet paper holder here as well, light fixture, but yeah, it's coming back. That kind of the gold or brass fixture with, you know, pairs really well with the white neutral tones, which is what we see a lot of, you know, times nowadays with new construction as well. This little thing, I mean, this is this like transition space. I just really like it. You know, you're most of the time you'd feel like just walking from the entryway straight into the living room, but this little space right here, I mean, if you had a nice piece of art that you wanted to feature, this is a perfect spot for it. I don't know, it's just a little thing that, you know, gives this house, my opinion, adds to the elevated feel overall. But this is really, I like this little transition space. And then you get into the main level living room space. Staircase going down, but yeah, this very impressive 11-foot ceilings in here. Floors look great. My opinion, just the right size main level living room space. Fireplace with the built-in surround, very common, you know, kind of just overall layout feature, but what elevates it is the natural stone. Again, you can really feel it in person. Notice the difference. It goes all the way up. The wood on the built-ins was great. The color, I mean, they just did such a nice job with the color combos in this home, in my opinion. Huge Anderson windows here, natural light. Of course, it's a cloudy day. It's only cloudy when I choose to do these videos, but yeah, great natural light in here. Undermount lighting on the built-in shelves. Great feature. Can't talk enough about the natural stone. It's just, it really makes a big difference in my opinion, given that elevated feel. Moving into the kind of dining room space here, there's two different spots in this main level where you could set up, you know, the dining room. Obviously here, in my opinion, kind of makes the most sense just given the space, the size of this table. Pretty common sized dining room table, 6-seater table. No overhead light here. Sometimes you have you know, a hanging light fixture over the dining room space. Not so in this home, but I really like the way that it transitions from kitchen to dining room space to main level living room space. And then there's this sunroom as well. I mean, you certainly could have dining room table in here. I think this functions better as like a kind of mooring room or sunroom space with all the natural light. Interesting that they've got a fan in here, but But yeah, dining room, I mean, it's, you know, you could get a larger table in here if you wanted to. Really comfortable to move around. No built-ins here for, you know, sometimes you'll see like the buffet or, you know, just like a built-in kind of like butler pantry area. Just furniture here, but nice space for the dining. And then into the kitchen. Just really, really impressed with the level of quality of these cabinets. Just the feel overall. Of course, soft close. Dovetail construction on every cabinet, or sorry, every drawer. If you don't know what dovetail construction is, that's the way that the pieces of wood are joined together here. So that's like a higher quality. Sometimes you'll just see like nails or little pins to hold the drawer together. But with this interlocking, these kind of like interlocking teeth almost, it's just, there's no pressure point, you know, since it is interlocking all the way down, up and down. So higher quality construction cabinet. But yeah, Scandia cabinets in all of Stonegate's homes and Ganya's homes. Custom cabinet maker, but yeah, really, really high quality stuff. Great feel. Great soft close. Tile on the backsplash here, very soft, kind of like eggshell white tile, not real glossy, kind of a matte finish. These are the offset. You know, we've been talking a lot about like straight set tile as being kind of the new trend that you're seeing more and more, but these are square offset. I like the look a lot. And then quartz counters. Kind of a matte finish on these, not super high gloss. Also becoming more common. You know, there was a time where like really high gloss finish, like quartz and granite, where it was, you know, you'd see that pretty much everywhere. But the matte kind of adds like a more neutral, kind of calming feel, in my opinion. But yeah, the rounded door, I mentioned that when we first walked in, but yeah, rounded doorways all in here as well. Just really, really nice look and feel. Gives it a uniqueness. I like the globe light fixtures, kind of adds to that, you know, those lines, rounded lines. LG appliances do have the wall ovens, the double oven, cooktop here over the hood. Love this hood. Just the super, you know, kind of minimalist look to this. I always prefer just like the straight down as opposed to, you know, detailing, or like a lot of times you'll see like a, you know, a slope on there. But I just think that's a really nice look. Cabinets all the way up to the ceiling. These doors, I mean, if you're tall enough, you can get up there. Storage, otherwise, you know, step stool, not the end of the world. But yeah, not a huge kitchen, but still good storage. Nice big open window over the sink. Pantry area in here. Additional storage. The light in here. Yeah. So yeah, into the morning room area. Really nice sitting space. Could have the dining room table in here if you wanted to. And then there is a deck on this home. So maintenance-free decking. Looks great, looks really good. Yeah, nice feel on this, but yeah, this is, you know, just shovel the snow off of it and good to go. No need to, you know, refinish this or seal it or anything like that. But yeah, perfect deck space for just, you know, for a grill. A little bit of seating area, but yeah, nice grill deck here. Like the height on this sliding glass door too, 8 foot. So when I walked in this house, I mentioned the flooring in here. It's an engineered wood floor. So a lot of times, you know, we'll see LVP when we come into new construction homes. So this is an engineered wood. So engineered wood floors, it's a real wood top layer over like a multi-ply core. So think of like plywood, like a layer of solid wood on top of like a, you know, manufactured plywood. It is more versatile. It's resistant to moisture, or more resistant to moisture than solid wood. It's less prone to warping. but it's not as durable as LVP. And it is susceptible to some amount of moisture, whereas LVP is not really susceptible to any moisture. That's why a lot of times you'll find it in bathrooms or kitchens where, you know, there's higher potential for water to get on the floor. But yeah, real hardwood top veneer, and then it's over like that plywood core. It can be refinished, you know, up to 1 to 2 times, depending on the thickness of that top wood layer. It is a little bit more susceptible to scratching than LVP, but with any real wood product, the value is in the feel. You know, the look, the feel, it does kind of elevate that luxury appeal. It does add value to a home. Buyers in general prefer real hardwood as opposed to LVP. LVP is good if you have, you know, pets, if you've got kids, you know, if the floors are just more susceptible overall to damage. But yeah, if you're looking for, you know, that elevated material, any solid wood product, or real wood product, I should say, that's where the value lies. So from as far as like the tier list goes, you know, like solid hardwood floor is considered like the most, you know, it's the highest level. Engineered wood would be below that, and then LVP, kind of the lowest tier. Doesn't mean that you can't find good looking LVP, but that is, you know, just from a desirability standpoint, from, you know, quality material standpoint, that is kind of the tier list. So engineered wood, really nice, you know, kind of happy medium between the two. You do get that real solid wood layer, but much less expensive than, you know, solid hardwood floors, and still a little more elevated than LVP. Walking into the primary. So we do have a little linen closet before we get into primary bedroom on the main floor. Really love this, the features in here. So tray ceiling with the wood ceiling on top, just really, really unusual feature for new construction. A lot of times you'll see beams, and, you know, ceiling beams to kind of give it that warmth, but I really, really like the wood ceiling. Nice feature. Does just, gives it seriously like a warmth, and I don't know, just an aesthetic upgrade that is uncommon. And I think works better than the beams. I'm a fan of the beams as well, but yeah, just the solid wood ceiling. Really nice look. Love this light fixture here too. It's very unique. Great natural light. No window treatments in this home. I should point that out, but windows, of course, Anderson windows. You know, we mentioned it when we first walked in, but love it. Love the black as well. The black offset with the kind of cream. It's a little tough to see with the light in here, but really good look. And then the engineered hardwood floors in here as well. Great space. This is like, in my personal opinion, this is like the perfect size primary bedroom. It's not too big. A lot of times what you'll see with new construction now is these huge primary bedrooms. I think this is just the right size. You could get a bigger bed in here. That's not a king. You could get a king size bed in here easily. Not really sacrifice any feel, but yeah, this size is really, in my opinion, you know, what to go for. Let me know in the comments if you prefer the huge, you know, kind of more grand primary bedroom. But I mean, the features in here, that light fixture and the wood ceiling, I would take those over just pure size personally. Walking into the primary bath, do have the pocket door here. Soaker tub underneath the window, you know, not really a privacy issue. You know, I probably wouldn't even have shades on that if I lived here, but nice natural light over the soaker tub. Tile for the flooring in here. Really like the light, the undermount light on the cabinets. Nice feature. Very cool. And then same Scandia cabinets in here. The dovetail drawers. Solid surface. I don't think, this is not like a quartz, I believe. This is just like a solid surface. Has a great feel though. Matte finish in here as well, similar to the kitchen. And then we do have the gold hardware Shower looks great. Really like the choices. Kind of like basket weave tile. Nice neutral kind of, soft tan color. And then more square tile in here. Now these have a little bit of, texture on them. They're not set completely. Like a lot of times there's like a super smooth. These, if you run your hand against it, it does, the corners are a little bit higher than the rest of the tile. But it does give, puts off some nice shadows, gives it some little bit, a little bit more dynamic than just like a straight, standard subway tile all the way up to the ceiling. Love to see that. Nice size for the shower too. Not huge, but very comfortable. Of course, the toilet has its own little space, and then walk-in closet. Carpet feels great. Nice texture. Not a huge walk-in closet, from by standards that we see today with new construction, but still very nice size. Yeah, like the light fixtures. Yeah, the rounded globe, that's, kind of a motif in this home. But yeah, the under cabinet lighting, very cool. But yeah, let's talk a little bit more about Stonegate. So, Stonegate Builders, located in Golden Valley. Stonegate is a specific division of Gagne companies. Gagne is who would you be working with if you wanted full custom, if you wanted to start from a totally blank canvas. Stonegate offers a collection of, their architecturally designed, pre-drawn home plans that can be personalized, which I find very cool. They do offer structural personalization options in their floor plans, which is an awesome feature. They do have developments like this one here in Arbor Ridge. For their developments, they do prioritize like established neighborhoods, popular school districts. So, you'll find their homes, in those types of areas, which is great. Coming downstairs, so 9-foot ceilings down here. Nice feel. Do have the lower level fireplace here, gas burning, and of course the natural stone on the surround. Little built in here, but yeah, good spot for television. There's a wet bar down here. It does have kind of its own designated space. When I came down here, the first thing that I noticed was this pillar. I think this is a really smart feature. It's a small thing, but it gives that space some definition. A lot of times you would just see with new construction homes, if that wasn't there, it's just in the corner there. It's nice to have wet bar, obviously, but it, in my opinion, when it doesn't have, some feature like that pillar to kind of give it definition, the space, it does have a different feel. It just feels not as complete, I guess. In here, we've got the LVP flooring. Looks very, very similar to the product upstairs, that engineered hardwood. Get even closer, but yeah, nice feel on this. This is like, if this was in the entire house, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Personally, I think this is a really, really good looking LVP. I like the width on the panels, but you do, Stonegate, they do prioritize, higher quality, their standards as well. We'll talk about that shortly, but yeah, prioritizing the higher quality materials. With spaces like this, smaller spaces in the lower level bathroom here as well, we'll see the LVP, but yeah, that engineered hardwood throughout the entire main level, great feature. But even the areas where they choose to put in the LVP, I think they're using high quality product as well. Same cabinets in here. Here, of course, we do see the straight set, kind of soldier stack, backsplash tile. That's what we're seeing most times in these, new construction homes. So they do have it here as well. I like the look, but yeah. And then, yeah, they did not skimp on the cabinets down here as well. Same Scandia cabinets. Same great feel. Like the color combo here too, that kind of soft grayish, beigeish color. Little storage here. That actually goes back quite a ways. But yeah, getting back to talking about Stonegate. So they do have, with Gagne and Stonegate across, the whole company, they do have a, full collaborative team of architects, designers, and builders that all work together, which is great. That's really streamlines the process a ton. They do have a design studio. So Stonegate, so when you build a home with Stonegate, their design studio location where you can actually go and see all the finishes, for a home. Tile, carpet, cabinets, you can see them in person, you can touch them, get a look, sense of what they look like. The colors, if you're looking at stuff online, of course, colors, it's really hard to convey what the color is, in person versus in a photo or in a picture online. But yeah, design studio, go in, make all the selections. When you're building new construction, that is kind of like the most fun part of it. Fairly early on in the process, sometimes even before they start digging, there's a designated day to make all the selections for finishes in the home. It can be a little bit daunting. In some cases, it takes several hours depending on how many options are available for, carpet samples, bathroom tile samples. But it is probably the most fun and exciting part of the build process. But it can be slightly overwhelming, but having, with Stonegate, having a design studio, super, super helpful, being able to see everything in person. Some options are upgrades. We have on that design studio day, you go in and that's where you do decide like, okay, we have a limited amount of resources. What is the highest priority? Do we want the engineered wood floors, or are we going to settle for, a higher quality LVP? But great to have a design studio where all those choices can be made. They also have a division called Styled by Stonegate, which is interior design, just focused. So if you go through a Stonegate model and you really like what you see, like this one, for example, I've been extremely impressed in this home. You do have the option to work with Stonegate to just do interior design on your pre-existing home, which is really cool. A nice feature. This is interesting tile, kind of wavy. Nice matte finish there as well. But yeah, like this is, for lower level bathroom, this is usually where builders are gonna just put like an insert in or something, just the fiberglass, kind of plasticky shower insert, but real tile all the way up to the ceiling. Nice design choice, elevates the feel. I've said it a few times, more globe fixtures, but yeah, overall, I've been really impressed with the quality that I've seen here today. But I'm probably even more impressed with Stonegate's depth of info regarding their building materials and the standards that they have. Information that's really readily available, really thorough regarding roofing, siding materials, the windows that they use, trusses and framing. This is stuff that you just typically don't get with other builders. An example of this would be they have a whole section on concrete. The driveways are seal coated twice for extra protection. They saw cut concrete for control joints instead of just using zip strips, which I guess is what most builders use, but would not expect to get that level of info from most builders. So very cool that Stonegate offers that. Just walking into the mudroom space, I forgot to check this out when I was up on the main level, but even this, there's an elegance to this space. It is just a mudroom, but love the black and white tile. Built in, bench and lockers, common, but just, the color, the softness of, the neutral tones that they chose here. This little, shelf area, same cabinets, nice, big closet space, but there's, it just feels considered, I guess, in a way that you wouldn't expect, just like a mudroom, laundry room area to feel. Even in here, the stone counters for, in a laundry room is becoming more common, I guess. Then it's it's a price point thing as well. You're not going to get it at the entry level, but definitely don't need it, but it certainly elevates the feel. Yeah, the arch doorways, keep coming back to those. We'll peek another garage since we're here, but 3-car garage. So yeah, here's that saw cut. In case you're interested, we'll see what that is. Saw cut joint. So with concrete, they need to put in joints because it's going to shrink and crack. Just what concrete does. Doesn't matter who's pouring it. That's just what happens with concrete. So in order to kind of be able to dictate where the cracks are going to be, they put in those joints. But yeah, to saw cut as opposed to using zip strips, just more and an extra layer of care that Stonegate goes into. And it's not just that. That's an example. There's tons of more info regarding the considered choices that they make in terms of the materials they use and the standards that they go to when they're building their home. So I really appreciate that. But even beyond that, I think their design is excellent and among the best that I've seen doing these new construction videos. So I'm interested to do more and see how other builders kind of match up with Stonegate, but I've been extremely impressed. I'm really interested in them. I'm interested in checking out more of their homes. We did another video in this neighborhood in Woodbury, so I'm going to go quick on this. But Woodbury, we're in the Eastern Metro, east of St. Paul. 88,000 as a population in Woodbury, very fast growing over the last 2 to 3 decades. The focus on business development and just like prioritizing growth planning is, according to Woodbury's own official website, is kind of what they attribute that to, that growth in population. But yeah, we're in the Arbor Ridge community. They do have a community center with a pool. We do have an association here. So if that's something that you are interested in, yeah, check out Arbor Ridge for sure. And definitely check out Stonegate Builders. Let me know if you have questions. I would love to chat more about them because I've been really impressed. And yeah, I'm excited to potentially do business with Stonegate in the future. But if you have questions about this house, any other houses that you've seen on this channel, please reach out. My name is Steve Wilk, 763-360-9291, steve@tothetwincities.com. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll talk soon.